If you really look at the Los Angeles Clippers, they are a team that is constantly trying to find their identity and find the right players to help them get to the next level, and especially get above the Los Angeles Lakers and give them the success they've long sought out. The problem? While they do get some big players and names, and even coaches, something always goes wrong. And it's no different than with the team they have right now, because two of their best players are likely gone for the rest of the season. Allow us to show you Kawhi Leonard probably not returning this season, Paul George uncertain. Their top two tumbled. The Los Angeles Clippers have done a valiant job of staying afloat without their best players. Kawhi Leonard has not played this season, and Paul George has suited up just 26 times. But the Clippers still boast a 27-27 record, good for the number 8 seed in the Western Conference. That success is hugely significant. Even if the Clippers were forced into the play-in round, they'd be among the scariest teams in the NBA if they got healthy in time for the playoffs. Sadly, it doesn't look like they're going to return to full strength anytime soon. Clippers coach Ty Lue revealed after Thursday's dramatic win over the rival Lakers that Leonard is probably not going to come back and that the Clippers don't know the status of George. He said that he hopes Leonard is able to take the floor, but at this point, he seemingly believes that the partially torn ACL that knocked him out of the 2021 playoffs is probably going to keep him sidelined until next season. "We know Kawhi is probably not going to come back," Lue said. "We don't know the status of PG, but these guys continue to keep fighting every single night." George's situation is unclear. The All-Star forward has a torn UCL in his right elbow. If he has surgery, he will likely miss the remainder of the season. Thus far, he has not had surgery. A return is therefore possible, but at this point, there's no telling how long he'll be out. "I hope he's feeling good," Lue said of George. "I don't know, but things can change. Just something to look forward to. Hope is stronger than fear." When George has been in the lineup, he's averaged 24.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. If Leonard is going to miss this season regardless, it might be in the team's best interest to shut George down as well. Without Kawhi, they simply lack the championship equity to risk further injury to George. Next season, if the Clippers are healthy, they should be right back in the thick of things. For now, though, their championship odds just took a major hit. But there are a few things to be happy about, even if certain fans don't want to admit it. Norman Powell. Norman Powell had just had his new furniture delivered and was still getting settled into his Portland home when he found out that he was being traded to the LA Clippers. In his LA debut on Sunday, Powell showed he could very well be a nice multi-purpose addition to the Clippers' championship design for the future. Powell scored 28 points and had 4 assists in his first game with the Clippers during their 137-113 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. While Powell impressed and showed what he can do with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George currently sidelined by injuries, the Clippers are excited about what the small forward gives them next season when they hope to be back at full strength with both of their stars. "Literally for all my career, I have been in every single role on the team," Powell said after making 9 of 16 shots, including 4 three-pointers in 24 minutes off the bench. "The guy fighting and scratching, trying to get into the rotation, being in a rotation, being taken out of a rotation, playing alongside Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, playing alongside Kyle and Kawhi, playing off of them in Toronto. So I think I can fit perfectly in here with PG and Kawhi." The Clippers, 27-28, acquired Powell and versatile defensive forward Robert Covington last Friday in exchange for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, rookie Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second-round pick via the Detroit Pistons. The Blazers were looking to shed salary and add roster flexibility, and the Clippers were able to land a player in Powell who was averaging 18.7 points for the Blazers this season. Powell, 28, signed a 5-year, $90 million deal last August. "We never thought it was realistic for us to get a player like Norm Powell for a team that won't have salary cap space for a long time," Lawrence Frank, Clippers president of basketball operations, said. "It's really hard to get players like Norm who are under a long-term deal who are in their prime. Norm's ability as a 3-level scorer, the fact that when he's playing off the ball, he's such a prolific catch-and-shoot player. He added, really complements Kawhi and PG. This may seem like an odd thing to say, given that this is a very small light in a dark area given where the Clippers are, but as Ty Lue said, hope is stronger than fear. This time right now without Kawhi and Paul George is an opportunity to see who can step up on the team and be the energy that the team needs going forward. Remember, they're still in a playoff hunt. And so with Powell doing so well, that means that they could very easily have a big third piece to help them when the time comes next season, as well as witness who gets boosted by his ability. Sometimes it's the little things that keep you going, and for the coach, he can tell he's a big thing. He's a dynamic scorer, said Clippers head coach Ty Lue, who had dinner with Powell. Mid-range at the rim, three-point shot, we can do a lot of things with Powell. Milwaukee head coach Mike Budenholzer echoed what Lue said and thinks the Clippers got better. I think it is a good pickup for them, Budenholzer said. He's a tough cover. To play that way on your first night with the team, that's impressive. When the opposing coach tells you that you did something right, you did something right. For Powell, this is a homecoming. He played at UCLA and is from San Diego, which is 2 hours south of Los Angeles. And he is reunited with Leonard and Serge Ibaka. Powell hopes they can duplicate the type of success they had in Toronto, where they helped the Raptors deliver a championship to Canada during the 2018-2019 season. I think just the maturity from being able to go through that whole experience, that whole playoff run, and winning a championship, and just being able to go out there and fight, Powell said of how he has grown since he last played with Leonard. Like I said, I was in every situation, every position with the Raptors, and I've gone through a lot, and I think all that has helped me and my game grow. Trade rumors. The Los Angeles Clippers are reportedly planning to part ways with one of their big men before Thursday's trade deadline. Andrew Grief of the Los Angeles Times reports that the Clippers are willing to deal one of their 3 centers to help open up the rotation. Serge Ibaka is the most likely candidate because of his expiring salary. But there are scenarios, team president Lawrence Frank has said, where he returns. Grief wrote, "Hoops hype." Some around the league take that to mean that there are scenarios where potentially Ivica Zubac could be packaged and sent elsewhere as part of a bigger move. Isaiah Hartenstein is the 3rd center on the team. Grief noted that the Clippers' 3-man rotation at the position has not truly worked all that well for anyone involved. For the Clippers, them getting a big trade just before the deadline would be huge for them in various ways. Mainly because it could help prepare them for next season and free up some cap space depending on who they are able to deal. Yes, for Clippers fans, this means that they're already looking beyond the final games of the season to see what happens next time. But given where things are with the team and their odds of winning the title given the Western Conference top squads, it's understandable that they would go this route. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the Los Angeles Clippers and how Kawhi and Paul George are very uncertain for the rest of the season? Does this feel like yet another letdown for the Clippers as a whole? What do you personally think they must do in order to get over the hump that is continuing to stifle them? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.